Heilige all Vikings out there. Today's band is pretty known in its own subgenre, Viking metal, in a way at least. This one comes all the way from Norway. It's called Enslaved, as many of you have already figured out. This is the 14th album called E. So, what we have here and review is their digipack version of the album. As you can see, there is no traditional Enslaved logo on the front anymore. It's just an interesting kind of a pagan image, or of sorts, or symbolic image in a way at least. And there's the album name in a runic letter. E is the name, not M, as some people have already made the mistake. So we have this digipack release. There's basically nothing special here per se. It is very plain and simple in a way. It's all black. Very little information here whatsoever. But before I forget to mention, as you can see, the track list here is basically in 2-3 track portions, as well as a couple of bonus tracks here called Dupet and Röyksopp cover song What Else Is There. Now I want to say that when I got to write the review, I only got the digital version at first, which just contains the 6 tracks here in kind of like capital letters, not the 2 bonus tracks versions. So if you're going to check this one on streaming services, or maybe the basic CD jewel case version, I'm not sure if these bonus tracks are here. So if you are really much into the band, make sure that you get this version, which has the bonus tracks as well. So the booklet looks like this, continuing the very same idea that was already on the cover. Now inside, the color theme is quite different. It's all white, well, white and black, and in the middle we have something not so typical here, but more lyrics, and finally a horse statue of sorts. Very runic in a way when it comes to appearance of the album. Now I would like to talk about a little bit of Enslaved and their past, but actually I'm gonna do another opinion video of that instead of this review stuff, so let's focus just on the album at hand. So it is the 14th album during their 26th or years long career, and I gotta say, this one is not a big surprise as an album if you have been listening to previous Enslaved album past 10 years or so. Because since Rune, when the band started to go to their more progressive Viking metal music, they kind of recreated themselves, you know, kind of like snake shedding its skin, and that's what I think happened with Rune already. And since then the band has more and more trampled these progressive metal paths, and kind of pushed the old extreme metal, the Viking, or should I say black metal infused Viking metal, farther away than before. So if you have heard their latest albums, In Times, Aximar, Ethika Odini, or Ritir, or any of those albums, you pretty much know what's going on around on E. The thing is that now these guys have clearly taken yet another step forward, which means they are even more progressive if possible. The tracks are longer, they're more experimental in my opinions compared to the few previous albums. It's clearly Enslaved as much as it can be. All the growling vocal, not growling, but more like shrieking black metalish vocals, they are still there. Meanwhile, the clean vocals are obviously taking most parts of the, as far as the singing goes, in taking that role. And the riffs are already, like said, they are already doing the progressive stuff as previously, but kind of, I don't know, maybe experimenting is the right word here, because it seems that these guys are trying to push the boundaries even further with this album and its tracks. Also, sound-wise, this is more kind of an organic, not so metallic sound as it used to be earlier with Enslaved. So those who haven't heard band at all by this point during the 26 years of existence, I cannot say start with the E album, because this is one of the probably hardest Enslaved albums, to get the idea of how the music is composed, how the riffs are made, and how the whole album, is made complete. So E is a very difficult album in a way, but then again, it's also kind of the Enslaved you are known to hear. So basically, it's a lot of the familiar stuff, but even more to the direction where the band has been going for over 10 years, or one might say throughout their whole career. So as much as I like their progressive stuff and the idea of using all of these kind of even old school, and I'm talking about 70s, even 60s related progressive metal stuff, all the Pink Floyd, King Crimson and all that stuff. Meanwhile, that is the stuff which I like so much about Enslaved, combined with their kind of extreme metal past, with their skilled riffs playing and having fun with all those different vocal ideas. E is not my favorite Enslaved album. It's definitely a good album. It's one of the most interesting albums of the year, and I had huge hopes. I'm not just high hopes, huge hopes for this one. And in a sense, in that context, I can say E is a little bit of disappointment for me, because I just loved their previous albums so much, especially Axioma and Vertebrae, In Times, and basically all those albums past 10 years. They're so great that in that context E is a little bit of disappointment, but nevertheless it's a great album and definitely something worth checking out, even if that kind of progressive Viking stuff might sound a little bit confusing or challenging when it comes to metal music. Enslaved is clearly paving their own road, and that's one of the most interesting things in the whole band. Seen them a few times live, always great, and their performance on the albums or just on stage is just like awesome. So what I can say, E is a great album, a definite album to check out. It's one of the best this year's. Probably not in my top 5 of the whole year, but that doesn't matter. The thing is, it's one of a kind, it's unique, it's just enslaved, enslaving my mind. So I urge you to check out E and listen to it carefully, let it grow, let it have its chance to just evolve, grow into you or whatever. So check it out, and like I said, if you prefer having 2 more extra tracks, get this one where you have these 2 extra tracks included. So that's all from me. Next video probably will be about the band and its whole discography, so if you're new to the band, please check it out. And if you don't know what to do, I urge you to subscribe, comment, like, and do all that stuff. Thank you for watching, and hope to see you soon on Rauta's channel. Stay metal and keep safe.